Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Just wanted to make a quick podcast for the DFS that we normally do on Thursday. I know it's an hour before kickoff, so I want to get this out there real quick. Just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and I hope you guys have a blessed day hanging out with your family and friends and doing all that sweet stuff. And, enjoy that turkey. I don't know if everybody's eating turkey. I don't care. I'm eating turkey. I'm eating turkey. So, you guys enjoy your day with your family. So, let's get into this DFS stuff. So, on the slate today, there is no Cowboys-Chargers. So now, if you do the Thursday through Monday slate, for some reason they're omitting emitting two of the games. There's no Chargers-Cowboys. And let me make sure that I'm correct here. There's no Chargers-Cowboys. There's no Vikings-Lions. So, you have more than enough time to get these lineups in because the next set of games is not until 8:30 at night. So, you can basically watch that game later on and you'll be fine. So, basically it goes from the Giants game on. All right, guys. So, that being said, let's get into these lineups. We're not going to go into a big breakdown today. I'm just going to give you guys my lineups, and hopefully they win you some money. These are 50-50 lineups, like I always tell you guys, 50-50s or, head-to-head lineups. So, throw these in your head-to-heads, your 50-50s, and win some cash. Double up your money. So, here we go. We're going to go with, let me see what lineup I want to do. Let's go to FanDuel. All right. So, with my FanDuel lineup, I tell you guys every week. What do I say to you guys every week? I say either go expensive at quarterback or go cheap. I'm going cheap on FanDuel. On FanDuel, I'm playing Matt Moore. The reason New England has been just shitting on teams. It's not close. They're just blowing teams out. And for some reason, every year it seems like the Miami Dolphins seem to have this weird-ass game with the Patriots where they blow up. So I'm going to take a chance that this is that game. Heed that if, Jay Cutler plays, that, I'd still play Jay Cutler in this matchup. So one of those two guys, figure out which guy is playing. It sounds like, to me, that Jay Cutler won't be playing in this game. So if that's the case, it's going to be Matt Moore. And Matt Moore didn't look bad last week. So I like him this week. Let's go with Kareem Hunt at running back. I know I told you guys Kareem Hunt last week and he didn't do nothing, which is very frustrating. But he's only had 2 games now where he didn't score, he didn't get you at least 100 yards. In back-to-back games. It sucks, I know, but guess what? He's home against Buffalo, and you saw what happened to Buffalo last week. So guess what? You're putting him in your lineup, and maybe he gets in the box this week, finally. If they give him 18 touches, 18 carries the way they did last week, I promise you his game will be better than it was last week. Okay, guys? And it wasn't terrible. I hear so many people crying about Kareem Hunt. He's not killing you. Legit, he's not killing you. He's not blowing up and winning you games, but he's not killing you. So just stop complaining. He was playing, and I'm sorry guys, but in the first 3 weeks of the season, I was telling you guys, hey, this guy is going to have a regression. He's 100% going to have a regression. He's playing too out of his mind. He's a rookie, blah blah. And now all of a sudden, everybody wants to, crown this guy a second half bust. But it's just too early for that. You gotta see what he turns into, guys. You know what I mean? Like, he has still 6 games left in the fantasy season, and 5 games left in the fantasy season. So Kareem Hunt still an RB1, still playing him like that. He's 7,700, the cheapest he's been since basically week 1 or week 2 or whatever it was. I believe it was week 2 he was less than that, but he's the cheapest he's been basically since week 2 of the fantasy season. So, that being said, I'm going Tevin Coleman this week, guys. I have a really, I know Tevin Coleman didn't really do all that much this past week. I don't care. Tampa Bay's been bad. and I'm going to play him. I mean, you saw what Miami did to Tampa Bay with those two shit running backs. So I'm going to go ahead and say Tevin Coleman's going to be good this week. Okay? It doesn't sound like Devontae Freeman's coming back. So Tevin Coleman, lock him in. Brandon Cooks. We all saw it. We saw last week. Dude smashed. You know what I mean? He looked really, really good. So with that being said, guys, you know what I mean? I think this is another smash week against Miami. They don't got nobody that can match his speed. And I'm telling you what, if him and Brady connect the way they were doing last week, he's going to be a good 50-50. He's going to be a good cash play. You know, he's got a nice high ceiling, and, you know, I don't think his floor is all that low. So, Julio Jones. I know Julio has just been hit or miss this year, and it pisses me off, but he's the lowest this might be the lowest I can ever remember Julio Jones being. 7,800 on FanDuel is just, it's a crime. The dude is, you know what I mean, he's not blowing up, but he's not playing bad either. And against Tampa Bay, I want to fight. I want to just smash against Tampa Bay from now on. That's what I'm doing until Tampa Bay proves that they can stop anyone. So you're going to see a lot of people, you know, being smashed into my lineups because they're playing Tampa Bay. It is what it is. Mike Evans against Atlanta. Mike Evans, he's also 7,700, so he's $100 cheaper than Julio, and he's just a good wide receiver. He still hasn't had a 100-yard game. You know what I mean? I just feel in this game he's going to finally do something. I know Ryan Fitzpatrick, you know, but he's getting targets, so that's all I really care about. You know what I mean? He's getting highly targeted. So for a 50-50 lineup, you know what I mean, I'm smashing him in again. I know he didn't pay off last week, but guess what? You know what I mean? If he gets to the end zone and gets you at 90 or 100 yards, you're going to be super happy you have him in your lineup at 7,700. You know what I mean? And that's three really quality, you know, 76, 78, and 7,700 wide receivers. I love that. And they're superstars. These guys are superstars. So, with that being said, I'm able to smash Rob Gronkowski in my lineup in here because Rob is 7,700. I love it. This lineup here, I love this lineup. You know what I mean? It's just a superstar lineup. You know what I mean? And FanDuel gives the ability this week to do that. Play a whole bunch of superstars this week. And with the way that they're paying, you know, the way you're paying for these guys, I mean, if these superstars play the way they're capable of, you're going to smash this week. So, with Randy Bullock, you know what I mean, he's the Cincinnati kicker. I don't know. I think Cincinnati's going to smash Cleveland, so hopefully Cincinnati scores 30-plus points and he gets you 2 or 3 field goals with a bunch of extra points. Steelers defense playing against Green Bay. We saw what the Ravens did to Green Bay last week. Pittsburgh is going to do the same thing. They're going to smash them. They're just, you know, they're going to embarrass them again. And hopefully Brent Huntley, you know, after this year never plays a down of football in his life because he's terrible. There's no other way to say it. He's just terrible. He's god-awful. He's killing Jordy Nelson. You know, Devontae Adams is still playing well, but watch. You're going to see super regression from Devontae Adams in the next, 2 weeks until Aaron Rodgers blesses us with his presence. Because I do believe Aaron Rodgers will be back in 2 or 3 weeks, and that will be amazing. So, if you're lucky enough to make the playoffs and have A-Rod in the playoffs, be super happy about it. All right, so that is my FanDuel lineup. Now we're going to go to DraftKings. So my DraftKings lineup is actually super different. On DraftKings this week, just looking at it, some of the prices, the problem with DraftKings is the prices are so competitive. They price match to competition. They price the double-digit touchdowns, and I would not be surprised to see him have 14 touchdowns by the end of the season. Would not be surprised. That means he's going to score, in the next week 17, so week 12, in the next 6 weeks, this dude is going to score whatever. He's going to score possibly 9 touchdowns, which is a lot. And I have faith he's going to do it because I like the matchups that he's got coming up, and I also like that he is just freaking a target monster. I love Antonio Brown. Get him in your lineups this week. Brandon Cooks, again, I'm going back to the well. I have Tom Brady, I have Brandon Cooks in this lineup, and I have Deion Lewis in this lineup, and I don't care. I like all of their upside, and I think Miami sucks. So I'm going to play these guys. D.D. Westbrook. D.D. Westbrook is my cheap punt option. Now, we have seen what Arizona has done to number 2 wide receivers. They have been just terrible. Like, terrible is not the word for as bad as they've been. They're atrocious. So, against number 2 wide receivers, I don't get it. They just have sucked really, really bad. So if that's the case, I'm going to play D.D. Westbrook, hoping that he, has a 80-yard touchdown like we saw in the preseason. And I mean, he was a big play threat in the preseason, and I'm hoping to bank on that. I'm hoping he blows up. Vernon Davis, at 5,500, I like him. Especially we all know that the New York Giants have just been god awful against the tight end. They have allowed a tight end touchdown in every game until last week. Finally, Travis Kelce broke the streak, that son of a bitch. Regardless to the fact, he still had a good game, but he would have had a monster game if he scored a touchdown. Travis Kelce, obviously you can tell I lost in one of my season-long leagues because Kelce, it wasn't because Kelce didn't get in the end zone, but had he gotten in the end zone, I would have won. So, with that being said, the Giants still suck against the tight end position, and I'm going to play Vernon Davis because I know there's no Jordan Reed this week. Devontae Booker has just been getting snaps, out-snapping everybody in the backfield there. So he's starting to become the predominant guy. Their season's basically lost, especially if they lose this week. If they lose this week, I think they just wrap it up and it's over. And Devontae Booker might become the full featured back there just to see what they got, because they know C.J. Anderson is not their answer, and they know that Jamal Charles is not their answer. So, they got to see what the hell. I know they saw him last year, and a lot of people say, he sucked last year. But guess what? He was a rookie last year, so you can't go by his rookie numbers. So Devontae Booker in this game against Oakland, at Oakland. Oakland can't stop anybody. We saw that last week against New England. We've seen it every week so far this year. There is no position that they stop well, and Devontae Booker could have a smash week if they give him 15 to 18 touches, which I think is definitely possible. Now, the Texans' defense has been terrible, but so has Baltimore's offense. Baltimore's offense, if you watched Joe Flacco last week, he should have had like 4 interceptions. He's just not throwing the ball well. He had a touchdown to Mike Wallace last week, and I called Mike Wallace, if you guys listened to the podcast last week. But, he had a touchdown to Mike Wallace, but the problem was that it should have been intercepted. It was a terrible throw. It was a really, really bad throw and a really good catch by Mike Wallace. Easily could have been intercepted. So, I could see, and I know Houston's defense has been really bad, but, I could see Joe Flacco throwing a couple of picks in this game. Hopefully they take one back to the house, and everybody's super happy that they started the Texans defense. So those are my 2 lineups this week, guys. If you guys have any questions or any information that you want or need, hit me up and I will get back to you. You can hit me up on Facebook. There is other avenues of hitting me up. The website I will post on this podcast notes, so you guys can hit us up on the website. If you go to the website, there's a personal fantasy advice tab. You just click on that. It'll take you to our Facebook page, and on our Facebook page you can write any questions or free agent acquisitions that you're wondering about, or any questions at all, start them or sit them, anything. And actually next week we are going to start doing games on here. We are going to start doing some DFS and some regular season fantasy football games. Not 100% what games we're going to be playing. I have a couple in mind, but should be a fun listen. So with that being said, you guys have a great Thanksgiving. God bless you and your family. And I hope you guys enjoy this turkey day with your friends, family, and etc. Peace out, y'all. Let's get it.